This time we're going to solve sequential digits, Leetcode 1291. This is the current challenge question. Actually, I just solved this problem like maybe 5 minutes ago. You can see my submission here. Okay, so I'm probably going to be typing out the solution, but I will explain what I'm going to do here. So basically here, what you're looking for is like there's a range here, high and low. And we're looking for consecutive digits that are between this range. In other words, like anything like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, any length. It could be 12, 23, 45, and so on, right? But because it's got to fall into this window, you know it has to be of length 3, right? And you know it cannot be, say, 3, 4, 5, because 300 is the upper bound. So you know by looking at this that the lowest number will be 1, 2, 3, right? And the highest one will be 2, 3, 4. So this is the output. Second example here, the low is 1,000 and the high is 13,000. Right, so again, you know that the solution has to be at least 4 digits or up to 5 digits, right? And you know it cannot be, let's say, it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Like here, because you can see this is a 3, right? But it cannot be, say, starting with 2. So you cannot go 2, 3, because it will be over this number. So that will be your upper bound, and then lower bound is here. So the approach we're going to be doing here is basically find out the length of the low and the length of the high. In this case, it's 4 and 5. And we're going to try all this kind of combination in between. Not all of them will fit, obviously. Like I said, the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will not be a solution, but that's fine because we can check, right? The idea is that we over-generate solutions and then just pick the ones that fit within this window, okay? And that should be pretty fast because all we need to do is once we get like the first digit, then we can generate the next few digits. The way it works is that we iteratively loop through by multiplying the sum. So for example, let's say we start from a 2, right? So a 2, in the next iteration, we will multiply the total by 10, which brings up to 20. And then we add the next digit, which is 3. So that's 23, right? In order to add the 4 to it, we need to multiply the total here, 23 by 10, which is 230, and then we add 4, so 234, and so on. So we can generate this number, not a problem. There's a loop for that. So there's a small loop for that, and then also the third loop, which is the one in the middle, is basically we need to cycle from like the first digit, the second, and the third, and so on, right? And there will be a cutoff because obviously we cannot start at 9. Like for example here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to here 6, 7, 8, 9. We cannot do 7, 8, 9 because next digit is 10, right? So we're gonna have a check there as well on the middle loop. So let's just start. So first of all, we're gonna do a let d low, so basically like digits low, it will be equals to let's see, I forgot already. Let me look at my solution here. Okay, so yeah, so we need to convert this to a string, right? So we're gonna do a low to string, and then we find a length. Okay, and then the digits of high, how many digits are the high number? We're gonna go high, same to string, so we convert it into a string, and then we take the length of that, right? Okay, so now that we have the two lengths, right? The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna initialize the result. So let result is equals to an array, and then we're gonna start pushing elements to it that meets the criteria. In other words, the result will store these values here, right? All right. So so the first loop is basically we need to find out. We're gonna go through the okay. So right here, this is 4, right? This is 5, right? So the I basically cycles between 4 and 5, right? So equals to d low to I less than equals to d high, and we should do less than equals to because we're going from 4 to 5, right? And then I plus plus, right? So this will just loop twice, okay? And then the next thing here we're going to do is I'm going to have to shrink this a little bit. Let me just decrement the size here a little bit. Okay. And then the second loop is basically now we want to cycle basically like 1 through 9, right? The middle loop that I mentioned earlier. So you need to do a for let j equals to 1, right? And j is less than or equals to, let's say, 9, okay? Let's go here. J plus plus, right? Second loop here. Let's just go here. This thing here. Okay. So we don't have to actually go through 9 because as I mentioned before, 9 we can start from 9, right? Because we need 4 digits. So basically the formula for that would be 9 minus I plus 1. Okay, so in this case, you can see for if you want 4 digits, the maximum value for j would be a 6, right? Because 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can see this formula here would be 9 minus I, which is in this case 4, right? So so 9 minus 4 is 5 plus 1 is 6, right? Yeah. So basically this makes sure will make sure the j is only goes up to 6, right? So you're gonna start from 1, and this will generate 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And the last would be 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so now the innermost loop, we would just initialize a sum equals to 0. Okay, and okay, let digit equals to j. Okay, because basically we want to start from 1 and so on, right? And so this is the one where we calculate the candidates, right? So this is another loop, just call it k, I, j, k, right? Equals to 1, k less than equals to I, and okay. Okay, so what we're doing here is basically the I means how many digits, right? Because we need 4 digits, so we need to do this loop 4 times. So k goes from 1 to I, which is d low 4. Okay, so so basically for the sum itself, we're just gonna say sum. Just make it simple. I can do the other operator, but we want to multiply the sum by 10 and plus a digit. Okay, and digit actually starts at 1, right? And then we can start incrementing this one so that we can get so right now here initially what we're gonna get is, because sum initially 0, we're just gonna add the first digit, which is 1, right? And the next loop we multiply the whole thing by 10, so we're gonna get 10, and then we add digit, and now digit will be incremented to 2, because as you can see, I'm gonna do a digit plus plus here. And the next iteration, this becomes 12, right? And then we multiply again by 10, that equals to 120, plus now digits is digit plus plus, which is 3, so 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? So once we loop this to 4 times, we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's it. So this one again, we can put this this for loop in the function just to calculate the digits, right? Now, once we have calculated this, right? So this is basically for 1, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So at the end of this, we have a number, the 1, 2, 3, 4. We just need to check if this sum is greater than equals to low and sum is less than equals to high, right? So it's within the bounds. Then we add it. Then we basically do rest.push sum. Okay, and that's it. So once we leave this loop here, we have gone through this series of 4 digits, right? And then when we leave this, once we leave this loop, then I becomes high. The next digit, right, which is 5. So now we're gonna calculate the 5 series, which is this number here, and we're gonna go through all of them, also 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But then they will not be pushed into this array. So now that once we have gone through this array, we should have the result should have the correct value. So let's just return res. Let's just run it. There you go. Accept it. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe.